Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to take another adventure in the book of PCE. Today's story is called Just a Friend, sponsored and only published by PBS. Once upon a time, in the mean streets of Harlem, lived George and Ann. Yes, a Negro couple. George and Ann were married for 4 years. George worked 3 jobs, and Ann had 4 male friends. George questioned her male friends, but Ann requested trust and that they were good friends to her and nothing at all. And George nicely agreed. So it went on. Monday, Ann hung out with her friend, number 1, named Timothy. Can you say Timothy?
Timothy!
She came home with a white mustache. A white mustache. And claimed it was milk. Yes, they argued. But Ann insisted for trust. And it was just a good night of milk and cookies hanging out with her friend. And George quietly agreed. The next month, Ann hung out with 2 friends, 2 and 3, Long and John. They ran the Charlie Choo Choo on her. She came home the very next night. And when George went to put his magic wand in her nice black spiritual box, he fell in her miracle box. And nowhere to be found. Woo, kids, nowhere to be found.
Where'd he go?
She claimed it was her time of the month, and that Santa came and dropped presents off in her black box. And you know what? George trusted her without an argument. Yes, without an argument. Now, her 4th friend was also George's friend. And when George wasn't around, Marlon was around. George trusted Marlon. And Ann trusted Marlon too. Marlon was a good friend. Whenever Ann needed good back treatment, Marlon was there. Whenever Ann's mouth was hurting, Marlon was there. Whenever Ann needed a nice back massage, Marlon was there. Marlon had green eyes. Yes, green eyes. 1 week later, Ann became pregnant, and George was a very happy man. He ran and called Marlon, Wee, Marlon, I want you to be my godfather of my child. Marlon agreed. The day Ann gave birth, her son had green eyes. But George's eyes was brown, and Marlon's eyes were green. But it never occurred to George. Then it all came out. George argued with Ann and said, I thought I can trust you. Ann said, but you can. Just ask Marlon. And Marlon replied, that's just what friends are for. So, kids, the moral of this story is, when you're in a relationship and you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, your friend's friend is giving your friend the magic wand. The end. Another story brightly told by PCE, sponsored by Lamar Birdie. We're out. Water.
That's what motherfucking friends are for.
That fly rap money shit.